Hello, welcome on the Watches TV for a focus on the Grande Seconde by Jaquet Droz with the dual time function. It is a new watch that the brand introduced this year. But before going into details into this model, let's remember what is the Grande Seconde collection. It is one of the most iconic collection in watchmaking. It is also the most famous somehow at Jaquet Droz because of its dial. That is first a large and pure surface that gives a strong impression of infinity. Somehow, in terms of design, the exercise was mastering the void, and the Jaquet Droz Grande Seconde collection is all about that. Aesthetically speaking, the dial is divided into two zones, the upper part of the dial and the lower part. And on the upper part you can find always the hour and minutes, and in the lower you find the additional indications such as the seconds, the date, or in this case all of them plus the dual time zone. For this focus on, we ask especially for the Onyx dial. It is a black chalcedony, and because of that, the color is super strong and catches really the eye. It gives the watch a lot of strength without being too obvious or too spectacular. Technically speaking, we know that Jaquet Droz is developing more and more its own movement. It is very visible with the high, complicated watches and the automatons, but it is also the case for this Grande Seconde collection. That's why in 2014, Jaquet Droz introduced the first movement specially decorated for Jaquet Droz. It has a hairspring made out of silicone as well as the palette horns. It is then a very modern, contemporary and strong machine that Jaquet Droz uses to power additional function. And out of that, what we like in this particular Grande Seconde Dual Time is the fact that all the indications of the second, the date and the dual time are concentrical. It means that you have only one point in the middle on the lower part of the dial with all the hands revolving around it. This is very pure. It maintains the aesthetic, the purity of the design. This is very important. The introduction of the dual time zone into the Grande Seconde collection gives it a little bit a more executive, day-to-day personality that is very appreciated, because before it could be considered first as a very aesthetic and contemporary line. Now it becomes a watch that you want to grab every day, and this is quite a small difference that we appreciate. If you find it attractive, and this shouldn't be surprising, I am personally having it for a few moments now on the wrist, and the more I look at it, the more I find it strong and cool actually. You will have to spend 18,050 francs, which is quite acceptable price if you consider that it is an exclusive movement with an exclusive complication, a modular one, and that the dial is made out of a real stone. And to conclude, let's mention that the Jaquet Droz Grande Seconde Dual Time has kind of relaxing effect. Because of the zen design of its dial, it creates kind of serenity that really relaxes your mind, and this is very appreciated when you are kind of in the hustle traveling all over the world. So that's what we wanted to tell you about this watch. See you!